Hi guys, welcome down. We're actually out of the studio at Liverpool Golf Academy. We're down here at Titleist National Fitting Centre, and I've got James, one of the top Titleist fitters, to look after me today. So we're going to talk drivers first in this particular video, then maybe do some other fitting videos that will be coming shortly. So I'm in your hands. We'll go through the whole process of driver fitting, what you'd sort of generally do if you were to book a fitting session here. This will be the process that you'd sort of go through. So I'm in your hands, James.
Okay, perfect. Let's get started. So basically there's kind of 4 elements with the driver fitting that we're going to look at. We've got different heads that we can try. There's 4 models available in a variety of lofts. Then we're going to move on to the shaft type, where we've got the different lengths and the flexes. Following on from there, sure fit hosel, 16 different settings, and then the weight ports in the back. So those 4 elements will sort of work through one by one and establish which ones are going to be most suitable for you.
Super, sounds good. Okay, James, so what we're going to start off with?
So just to start, we've got the TS2, currently 8.5, so we're going to keep 8.5 in there consistent as well.
Perfect.
Smoke shaft, 6.5, extra stiff flex. The good thing about starting here is we can, if we need to, we can go a little bit softer, we can go a little bit stronger, lighter, heavier, more loft. There's quite a few areas that we can move to, so we get some benchmarks.
So generally you would start a fitting process with something similar spec to what they're currently using.
First question was, what are you paying currently? We don't want to put anything too alien in there. We need some nice baseline figures to see how you're delivering the club, and then we can
work from there.
To see where we're going from there.
Okay, so we'll hit some shots with this first. Yeah, I tend to be either neutral, or my weak one would be a little bit left. That was a bit of a heely cutty on that. It probably starts straight and then curves a little bit. Would tend to be me more of a miss.
TS2 a couple of times. We're going to change the head. We're going to keep the others consistent so that the feel and the dynamics of the club isn't going to be changed too much. For yourself, just have a look at it at address, because it is a slightly different profile. You may aesthetically prefer one over the other one. We can check the performance to see if there is a gain in putting one in play. And we can then explain the technologies between the two.
Anything particular sort of stood out that is why you may be changing it into this?
What we generally see is the TS2 is very forgiving. So if somebody happens to use quite a large part of the face, we can keep them in the fairway a bit more with the way that that's set up and designed. With the TS3, if we're more consistent in the face somewhere, we can fine tune that a little bit better. And I'm going to give you some credit, you are an able golfer with some good speed. So,
now and again.
But for yourself, we can make either of them work. So
So this is just set up the same, but just TS3. Okay. That was nice. Good. Yeah, it's well, first thing that stands out is it looks to be a little bit more rounded on its shape. TS2, it looks, I sort of saw this when I first reviewed it, it's quite straight and set. It's a stronger flight, isn't it? I've got a feeling that spin will be maybe a little bit lower.
So a 2-2 there.
So
sort of immediate observations between the 2 models. The 2 did look to just
climb a little bit.
Climb a tiny little bit. And this one's just got a little bit more.
Typically, I tend to find I'm in more in that higher bracket of a spin. And my miss on a strike would generally be a little bit low, which obviously doesn't help that. It tends to get that sort of climby one. So anything that tries to keep a bit of spin off, I've sort of always mentally sort of took that avenue in a way, because I feel I could get it more of that sort of flight, a little bit more of that penetrating flight. Yeah, I like that.
Pretty good. We're just in a small handful of shots there. We've seen a very slight difference in flight, not a huge difference. If you were to go out on the golf course now and play, and we gave you the option of taking 2 versus 3, would you sort of favour what
3, especially with a win like this today.
Are you aware of the other models that we've got in the range?
Yep, so obviously we've got 4 low spin. It's quite interested maybe to sort of go down. Obviously maybe one's probably a little bit not quite suited, maybe in terms of speed.
115 plus club speed one's probably not the most suitable.
Yeah.
Is going to go up there for you to say that you struggle occasionally with the one that's a bit high spin, low in the face.
Yeah.
One's probably going to add to that.
Add to that, yeah.
3 is a really good option, but we'll try 4 while we're here.
Okay.
To see if that is going to give us any more as well.
Cool.
So if you're going to do a comparison between the two, blue we've got TS2 there, red we've got TS3, so that the speed that the ball's coming off the face, we have seen a little bit more efficiency with the 3, coming out there 3.5 miles an hour faster. Launch angle is fairly similar, a tiny bit higher launch in the 2, which is generally what we see under robot testing. Slightly higher launching, slightly higher spinning, and as we shuffle down you'll see spin rate is in the higher 2000s with the 2 and it is in the lower 2000s with the 3.
And that's visually what we saw.
We could see
through
that
its
with
flight,
it's being backed up by the figures there. There is 4 yards more carry with the TS3, that lower spinning aspect, and it is going to sneak out there sort of 13 yards further.
With the run out.
Coming in tiny little bit shallower with a little bit less spin, so we're going to get that roll out there as well. So you could almost say, Mike, you're almost a robot there.
Right, James, so TS4?
Yep, we hit 2, we hit 3, we've done a comparison against each other. For a majority of golfers, it's one of those 2 models is going to be really suitable. We have got 2 other options which kind of fall in the extreme brackets. One, as we've discussed, is for that slower swing speed to get more launch and more spin in there.
TS1,
You're the opposite. So for you to say, I mean, we looked at your speed and you're swinging it quite quick, and if you do start catching it a little bit low in the face and we've got that higher spin option, it could work. It's a slightly different profile as well, so aesthetically it could be pleasing, but we do want to check the performance. For you to say this is kind of the product that you think might be appealing is great, but we need to
does it back it up with the absolutely. So head size with TS4, cubic capacity is smaller?
430.
430,
in comparison to 460 in the other models.
Okay, so just a bit more of a
deeper face.
Deeper face.
You may pick up a little bit of a difference in the acoustics as well.
Okay. So keeping same shaft at this point?
Same shaft at this point,
It felt solid. Oh, that was a bad one. Yeah, that was I mean, that's the problem with this, isn't it? If you miss that, I mean, that was a pretty bad strike, but because if you miss this in the wrong part of the head, as in toe, top.
We've got some feedback from Liam, the guy who does a lot of fittings out on tour, and the people that are efficient and hit the ball relatively straight. Max Hommel was an example that he gave us. His miss is generally a little bit high, a little bit low, so he may lose a tiny bit of ball speed, but generally still finding the fairway. It's when you have the heel and toe gear effect kicks in, and we can bring a good conversion just on those 2. That's the widest we've had of all the models so far.
Yeah, it's great if you're on it, isn't it? But so that was a better strike. That's a good flight. Just a bit pulley, but 1800. Yeah, I think visually it doesn't look too dissimilar to TS3 there, does it, as a visual, but I like the fact I've got a bit more give in that in TS3. That feels like I need to be on it.
If we were going on the golf course now and you were my forces partner, I'd prefer you were in the TS3.
Right, okay, right. You're the captain, are you? Okay. I'll let you be captain.
Quite clearly with the visual on the left, which shows where the balls have been pitching down range there. The red one's a TS3, which we quite like, nice and consistent. Blue was a TS2. Purple was the TS4, so that is a wider dispersion.
So front to back and left to right there, isn't it? So TS2 was a little bit more front to back. But TS3 is quite consistent on the length and a bit tighter on it,
nice and tight, in the fairways. We did have a couple of misses left. We can have a play around with. We're going to do some different shaft types now. We've got the hosel settings to play around with.
Yeah, that'd be good.
A little bit deeper into the shot shape, but we're going to focus more on the TS3.
Cool.
So we look at the speed that you're generating, but we also keep an eye on your sort of rhythm and your tempo, and we can kind of get a good gauge of a combination of a few factors, what kind of weight of shaft, what type of flex of shaft, how much stability we need in there depending on the golfer that we fit in. You are quick with your speed, so what we don't want to do is go down a very flexible route because you're going to lose control of the head. So where we're going to put the focus now is in a similar range of the lower launch and lower spinning variety. Just try a few different ones to see if there is a performance change in them, but also from a feel perspective for yourself as well.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. I think when I do fittings at the academy, it's a lot of the difference when you're changing shafts over is a lot of feel into it. Some guys just go, and then I think if it's not right, you then just see them move that strike all over the place, don't they? You can tell they just don't feel comfortable where the weight of the club is.
As soon as there's negative thoughts, it can lead to poor swings, so you definitely want to move away from that if you can.
Okay, so TS3, we're keeping it in the A1 setting at the moment. 8.5, and we're going even flow in 6.5.
We discussed at the start, just the reason why we're going to do these things in a certain order was where we've got the head models and the lofts and the different shafts and the hosel settings and the weights. The 4 variables. If we were to change all 4 right at the start, it's difficult to know which
where you're
have
at.
The correct effect on what we're trying to achieve.
So it's a process.
One by one, go through the process, and we'll always
Perfect.
be in a good place.
Okay, bit left, but good flight. Feels solid. So that wasn't great. That's a bit heel, that, but it's flown quite nice actually. So what's the real sort of difference between this even flow and the hazardous smoke then, James?
It's 5 grams in weight difference.
The
4 stock options that we've got, if we were to plot them on a chart, we'll have a lower launch and lower spinning model, and we'll have a higher launch and higher spinning model, and we'll have a couple in between. The white is actually the strongest in the family.
Okay.
And then we go up.
Go against what I've just felt.
A little bit opposite to what you said.
That's how much good my feel is.
Moving up into blue, blue, and then up into the black. So it's not to suggest that one's going to be more suitable than the other. It's just we go through this process and the feel is important. What we find is some people are weight sensitive, so we might want to go a little bit heavier, but if we start making it too strong, we could always soften the flex a little bit and vice versa. If the flex is good but we want to take some weight out, we can move up the chart and compensate.
Okay, probably dispersion's maybe not quite as good as the others, is it? Okay, James, so what we've got here?
Graphite design. It's, people will be familiar with their original Tour AD, the sort of orangey white one.
The Spieth shaft?
Yeah, Jordan Spieth. It's been around, we saw the rep a couple of weeks ago, and that's sort of a decade plus old now.
Is it?
And this is their kind of latest version of that, the IZ, Into the Zone.
Into the Zone, that sounds great. So a lot of golfers probably start getting excited now because this is maybe a bit more aftermarket for the shaftoids out there who like to get
a slightly different price point.
Okay. That feels really quite solid, that. Quite like the weight of that, and it just feels very stable, very solid. Terrible strike, that.
It's given us reasonable launch. We're still in the single figures though, so 9 degrees.
Yeah, I always tend to.
Side, and the 2 that you hit that just moved a little bit up the left were both 1700 spin as well, which is concerningly on the lower side. As well, so, as pretty as it looks and as good as it was. Like the smoke that we hit first is good as
that felt good. That smoke.
So what we've identified is trying a few different head models against each other, 3 preferential, both visually for yourself and backed up with the performance. We've tried a few different shafts in that sort of lower launch and lower spinning bracket, and the smokes come out on top. So now we're going to move on to the 16 hosel settings that we've got here. So we're actually able to manipulate the flight. We can make it go a little higher, a little lower, but with a lie angle change, we can actually make it go a little bit left, a little bit right, independently of each other, or a combination of. So, you obviously know a little bit about custom fitting yourself. We've seen you hit all the shots. Appreciate the wind's a little bit off the right. But we haven't really had a miss right at all. But we have had a few go out there to the left.
So that's me all over.
With a bit of luck, if we get it right, we could maybe not bring the right hand side into play because we haven't so far. But if we can eliminate that
a little bit more of that left. Perfect.
There, that's going to be put us in a nice place. So the first thing we're naturally going to do is just flatten it off a little.
Flatten the lie. I think this is the beauty with the Titleist SureFit system, isn't it? That you can do that independently, which is great. With some brands, it's if you're shifting one, it moves the other, doesn't it? So you're a bit more limited then, aren't you?
It's a fitter's dream.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're back in the smoke TS3 head. So 8.5, but in a how flat's that?
That's 1 flat.
1 flat. Perfect. That's good. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that. It's touched that, but it's not trying to.
Yeah, it's interesting because a little while ago you were saying that occasionally you catch up one a little bit low and you do see it sort of climbing up a little bit high. Because well, the way that you've been hitting it today, we've actually been borderline low.
Right, yeah.
Very low 2000s, dropping into the 1000s. It might be with the shape that we're getting that little bit right to left, which is that as well. But I'd be interested to see. I know we're following this process going down, and I'm actually going to jump us back to the start.
Okay.
Because we like the shaft, the hosel setting's in a good place at the minute, but we'll review that as well. I'm just going to bump it up in off the time.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
9.5.
Yep.
Because there's a couple out there that are just nosedive a tiny little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to keep it airborne a little bit longer, but without making that one.
Yeah. Go up. So potentially just trying to get a little bit more carry out of it, but keep the sort of penetration in a way that's like
forgiveness as well.
Yeah.
So if we're too low, it's going to do a lot on the floor.
Yes.
Also, when we start to miss a little bit, it goes further up.
Okay. So 9.5.
9.5.
Are we still 1 flat?
It's still in B1 1 flat. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's noticeably different. It's the first right one. That's a bit high, that. Well, from what I used to.
It's
got somewhere in the middle.
Having 1 degree change in loft affects the flight as much as that.
Yeah, I'll probably hit those a little bit higher in the face if I'm going to be honest. So obviously that'll just pop it a little bit, won't it? But
the numbers are great. From sort of carry perspective, we averaged 275 there, which was joint best with everything that we've had.
Okay.
So if we can keep the ball airborne longer, it's going to be great. What we don't want to do is have that one when it reaches the top of the apex and it just kicks up a little bit and lose control in the breeze.
Yeah.
And the reason for that question was I don't mind seeing it go up there.
Yeah.
But it's got to be controllable, and you've got to enjoy seeing that as well.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll start manipulating it. Yeah.
So we're going to drop it back into the A5.
Okay.
Another little change as well, but I'm not going to tell you till after you've hit it.
Okay. Right. Super. So we're back in that 8.5 head now. Yeah.
That's actually the best one you've hit today.
Is it? Yeah. It felt solid. That
was really good.
Oh, like that. 3 in a row, I've nailed it. If I could get 3 in a row. Yeah, that flight's perfect. Yeah. Love that.
We're in double figures launch now.
It's left out. I don't mind that though. Probably prefer that as that slight right miss than that left one. But that's. What have you done? What magic dust have you put on that?
You look comfortable swinging it as it is. So it wasn't inclined to change the weight as regards to making it lighter or heavier. The weight seemed okay. Yeah. We just relocated it a little bit from centre where it started, a little bit in the toe. So all the shots that we've hit have generally been pretty straight, just tailing up. Yes. Doing that can straighten us up a little tiny bit. It's actually gone arguably a tiny little bit.
Yeah, a little bit,
Sneak up there, so we'll go back into neutral. And the reason I didn't want to say that is sometimes if we explain how we've set up the club, you might manipulate what you're doing.
100%. That's definitely something I do in a fitting. Is if I change something, they'll don't know what I've done, and I just hit it. I'm not going to tell you. You know, where that sometimes in length the shaft, it'll shaft flex or weight. You know, it's just to get that initial feedback of the player. Yeah.
This one here, we're really close. bang on.
We're nearly on it. We're nearly on it. Yeah, nice. Like that.
Right then, so I've moved 10 yards forward, so 50, 60 meters, also...
You do gift wrapping?
There it is.
Perfect.
So we've just followed the process there. We've identified which head model is going to be the most suitable, moved into shaft, hosel and weight. We didn't want to go too in depth because if we start going through a process that's 90 minutes, 2 hours long and your swing is going to change from start to finish. I mean, that whole process is 40-45 minutes. We've maybe hit 30 to 35 shots and we've come across some really good specs.
Great process that, yeah, superb. So we are TS3 8.5, 1 degree flat, neutral in the weight, and hazardous smoke 6.5 standard length.
45.5 inch in 60 grams.
60 grams, perfect.
There we are.
Yeah, feels really good. Okay, thanks James, appreciate that. Superb. Right, so guys, that's the fitting process there. It was a really enjoyable process and a great little step-by-step process of going through all the different options there. To get to that final result. So obviously if you are interested in a Titleist fitting, then I think you can book this through an account, I'm guessing, a local account.
Online, you can visit the National Fitting Centre. We've got Titleist Thursdays, we host events all around the country, and we also have partners that have access to our fitting tools as well.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. So really good sort of process there. So appreciate you watching the video as always. If you've got any questions there, just fire them down below, or any comments regarding this particular sort of video and the fitting process we've gone through there. Obviously fire your comments down below to hear your thoughts as always. So appreciate watching the videos. If you haven't subscribed, just hit that subscribe button and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon. Perfect.